A U.S. Capitol police officer is dead after an attacker rammed two officers at a barricaded checkpoint. The other officer was injured.
The suspect was shot and killed. Elizabeth Schulze reports from Washington, D.C.
A deadly incident at the nation's capital when a vehicle rammed into a barricade toward two Capitol police officers. In a statement, Capitol Police saying both officers have been transported to the hospital.
And it is with a very, very heavy heart that I announce one of our officers has succumbed to his injuries.
Law enforcement sources confirmed to ABC News the suspect is dead. A source says Capitol Police opened fire after the vehicle rammed into a barricade on Constitution Avenue on the north side of the complex. A federal official says the vehicle was occupied by a single driver. Authorities say the individual exited the vehicle armed with a weapon and was shot by Capitol Police. According to an FBI spokesperson, the FBI Washington field office has responded to the incident. Law enforcement already on high alert in the wake of the January 6th Capitol attack, which left 5 people dead.
The U.S. Capitol has always been clearly a symbol of this country. That's why the 9/11 hijackers attempted to fly a plane into the U.S. Capitol. It's the heart of our government. It's the heart of our democracy.
Now, much of the fencing here at the Capitol was recently taken down. A federal official tells ABC News there wasn't a heightened threat risk for today. Congress is in recess, so most members were not in the building. And President Biden is at Camp David for the weekend. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Congressman Garret Graves joins us on the phone. Congressman, thanks first of all for joining us. A lot of folks are asking how this could happen with all of the security in place after that deadly insurrection on the Capitol in January.
Well, it's important to keep in mind that this was on the external security perimeter. You would have had to have made it through at least 3 additional places in order to have any type pose any real threat to the Capitol or to members of Congress. But of course, seeing the awful death and senseless death of Officer Evans is really just unacceptable at this point.
Congressman Graves, do you think anything needs to change in terms of security? Obviously, we just heard in that story on ABC that they had, reduced some of the barricades and sent some of the National Guard home. But do you think something needs to change?
No, I don't think that this incident indicates that you've got to put the fences back up or put additional barricades. Let's keep in mind, this was an external barricade for vehicles. There's another one that would have to be passed. There would also be multiple obstacles actually getting into the Capitol. Now, the one thing that may need to be looked at is that generally you have a few officers that are outside of a little security kiosk. And so those officers were the ones that were hit, but you did have additional officers that were inside of hardened security kiosks. So maybe there should be some type of protection for the officers that are on the outside that actually come out to inspect the vehicles. But in this case, I think it's important to reiterate that the perimeter for the security for the Capitol worked as it was intended. But obviously, this tragic loss of life of our Capitol Police family is really just an awful incident and shouldn't have happened today.
It is indeed a tragedy. Congressman Graves, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe.
Thank you.